The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 153. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Get your free audiobook by visiting thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a special lady on today. She is a story marketing and publicity coach, and she's here today to share her story on self-confidence and how it's helped her live the life that she has today. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Vickie Gould. Vickie, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to our listeners.
Oh, good. Yes. Thanks for having me on the show, too, Sheena. I really am looking forward to this. So just a little bit about me. I guess I became a coach when I got sick. So I started out actually in the health and wellness arena. And then as I shared my story and did my own thing, people started coming to me for marketing and publicity. So it kind of fell in my lap, and I always say that when people start coming to you for your expertise, that's kind of where you should go. So that's what happened with me.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Vickie, what's your cultural background?
Yeah, well, my parents are from Taiwan. My dad and mom came over actually to Canada first back in the 60s, and they immigrated over here because my dad was going to school, but also because they felt that, America was always the place of opportunity. So his first job was in Florida. So I'm first generation American, and my parents are Taiwanese.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that little tidbit. And Vickie, what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
I think the favorite one of mine is one that Audrey Hepburn said, that nothing is impossible. The very word says, I'm possible.
I love that quote too, because I believe nothing's impossible as well. Like if you can believe in it, right, you can achieve it. That's how I see things. So
yes, absolutely.
So thanks for sharing that. And, in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
I would define it as the ability to be freely who you want to be, not using society or your parents or your spouses or your friends' rules and definitions of who they think you should be or grow up to be.
Thanks for sharing that. And I believe that as well, especially in like Asian culture, just because, we're always told what to do.
Yes, very much so. Like you're only allowed to be a doctor.
Yeah, or, you have to go to school, you have to get married, it's like all these rules. And this is why so many women out there are hurting, because they feel like if they're not living up to other people's expectations, they're a failure. And then we end up self-sabotaging, right? So, I really love that definition. Right. And really, we should all be able to live, life according to our terms and according to our design. So
yeah, and it has to do also, I think, with being able to say no. I grew up, that people pleaser and always wanting to say yes to everybody. But when I said yes to everybody else, I was saying no to myself.
Yeah, I totally agree with that as well, because, I'm sure there's things that you don't want to do, and really sometimes it could be out of integrity. So, sometimes saying no can be a great thing. So thanks for sharing that. And what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
Well, a lot of that yes thing going on. I was living other people's definitions of a good life. I had done what my mom had wanted me to do, go to a good school, get a good job, climb corporate ladder, get married, buy a house, have kids, all that stuff that I did. I really squelched myself into something that made me miserable. And after I got chronic Lyme disease, like I was saying, I looked back and realized that I shouldn't have been doing that. I had always told myself, okay, you get to yourself later and you can do all these other things first. I always felt like I had time.
Thanks for sharing that. And, after realizing like you can do other things and always stop pleasing other people, like what's your life like now?
I feel that I'm a lot more happier. I'm excited to get out of bed and do the things that I want to do during the day. And I say yes when it's appropriate and no when it's appropriate. And I think growing up too, we're always told this is reasonable or that's reasonable or this is the path you should take and whatever. And, you don't ever tell a young child that they can't be a fireman or they can't be the president or they can't be, be a butterfly if they want to be. And as you grow up, you're told to be more and more realistic and more reasonable and stuff like that. So after the discovery, I realized that I don't have to be so realistic and reasonable in society or my friends or family's terms. I can do what lights me up and what gives my heart a purpose. So, happier, freer, less guilt, ability to say no, that all happened after the discovery.
Thanks for sharing that. And, it's great that you're able to discover that, because there's still so many people out there, especially women, where they feel like they can't be anything that they want to be. I remember when I used to work in an office, like I wanted to change jobs, and a coworker told me, the job that you have is already great. So I don't know why you're going to look for something else, especially for a woman. And, I think as women too, we get that a lot. It's like, you're a woman. What makes you think you can do better? And, I want women out there to realize like they can do anything they want, just listening to these interviews, sharing these stories of women who just go out there and just go after what they believe in. Right. So, I'm really great that, I'm really thankful that you're able to show that and others can be inspired by it. So, thanks for sharing that tidbit. And, Vickie, if the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own, journey and she's going through some things, what would be that one tip you would give to her?
The one tip would be to stop squelching yourself. Let your true self out, and everything falls in place after that.
I love it. And then, that's really great advice. I mean, some of us, we just go out there and I think as women too, we just feel like we're always punishing ourselves for things that we don't even know what we're punishing for ourselves for, right? So
yeah.
It's just sometimes it's time to go out there and just live life on your terms and not have to worry what other people think of you, right? I mean, the less you can let that go, the happier and freer you can be. So love that.
And that's all about confidence, being your true self and stuff, because we tend to think we're not worthy, we're not enough, we don't deserve it. And the fact of the matter is we are worthy. We do deserve it. We are enough. We're all awesome people if we would just allow ourselves to be ourselves.
I love it. And it's true, right? When we can allow that being our true authentic self, that's when I believe like the magic happens. That's when the right things come into your life and, it just feels easy. It's not forced. So,
right.
So thanks for sharing that. And Vickie, if our listeners would like to know a little bit more about what you do and who you are, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Sure. I have a website and it's VickieGould.com. So of course I have to spell my name in the funky way that nobody ever remembers. So it's VickieGould.com. I'm on Twitter and LinkedIn under those same names and on Facebook. And I do have an entrepreneurial group if people would like to join. It's called It's Your Turn. So if you just type that in Facebook, it should come up.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Vickie, you can also head on over to thetaoofselfconfidence.com and search for Vickie's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I just really want to thank Vickie for taking the time to share her story and tips with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on, Sheena. It was fun.
It's my pleasure. So thank you so much. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll catch you later. Bye for now. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Get your free audiobook by visiting thetaoofselfconfidence.com.